Asia is the next frontier. That's right. Asia is the next frontier. Now, recently I made a video calling about how is Thailand the new America. I've gotten mostly positive responses. I got a few negative responses. Yeah, I see y'all. But overall, I presented it as a good question, right? So with that being said, I was like, hey, you know what? People seem to like this video. Let me talk about it again on part two. However, I gotta include Malaysia. It's a slept on secret. And I know what you're thinking. My uncle told me Malaysia's dangerous. She might get kidnapped. Listen, your Uncle James, he doesn't know anything. He's been watching National Geographic and the Travel Channel for 10 years, but he don't know what's really going on here. Things have changed since back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Malaysia maybe had somewhat of a background that may be unfavorable to Americans in the past, but I'm here to tell you in present times, Malaysia is not as scary as people think about. In this video, you see me on the train, or you see a background video of me on the train, right? And I'm on my way to Malaysia. So I was like, let me talk about this. I'm going to be talking about some of the similarities between Malaysia and Thailand for Americans and why I believe this could potentially be the next destination and how they vary from each other. So first I want to talk about the cost of living, right? Because in recent years, a growing number of Americans have been choosing to relocate to Southeast Asia, with Malaysia and Thailand being the two most popular destinations. Both countries offer unique opportunities and lifestyles which appeal to different type of foreigners, and this is one of the main reasons. So first, we're going to talk about the cost of living. Both of them have about the same similar affordability when it comes to renting out. I will say in my experience, when I went to Kuala Lumpur, which is a major city in Malaysia, it was slightly cheaper than Bangkok, Thailand. I repeat, slightly cheaper than Bangkok, Thailand. And yes, I was in the city center living it up, doing the lifestyle, right? Next, another similarity is they're both warm and tropical climate. I personally like the background of the trees better in Malaysia. You can see in this video I have here. But I will say, if you like humidity, if you don't mind that type of weather and a little bit of rain here and there, they're both very similar in that experience. Malaysia does have a reputation for being a little bit warmer. But the good thing about both of these places is they both have a strong expat community. So if you're from the United Kingdom, if you're from Australia, if you're from America, if you're from Jamaica, you're going to find there's a lot of other foreigners that are there. When I was walking around, I was initially like, oh, I don't know about this. But then as soon as I got there, I saw like, oh, there's a lot of, especially Europeans, they are all over there. Mostly Europeans and people from India and other parts of Asia. I would say those are the three largest groups. But I felt super comfortable, super safe. Don't believe what they tell you on all these websites. They're gonna get you, they're gonna attack you, they're gonna kidnap you. It's all fake. I'm telling you, there are places where you gotta watch your surroundings. But if you're in the capital city, I even had a friend, because I was like, yo, I was concerned. I heard this rumor. I was like, yo, I heard because of blah, 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 you're not supposed to really make eye contact with women. You're not supposed to hold their hands. You're not supposed to do all this if you're not married. He's like, man, I go there all the time, man, and I don't see none of that. So by me hearing from the friend who lives in Singapore, by the way, I was able to get that insight and feel more comfortable when I went over there. They're both tourist friendly. You know what I'm saying? I got lost my first day in Malaysia. I'm going to upload that video sometime probably in the next 48 hours. But you see, I got lost in Malaysia, was able to find my way around. The people helped me. They would not accept any money for helping me. So those are some of the similarities. Now let's talk about the differences. I would say Malaysia has a slightly more mix to it because it's more of an ethnic mix of Indians, Malay, Chinese, and people from other indigenous cultures around the area. So they are different groups of people, maybe slightly on the darker side compared to Thailand. And also Thailand has a slightly heavier Buddhist influence, I'd say. So if that comes to you as far as the religious differences, that might be a thing to check out. Obviously, because both of these countries, are not basically where they're located, English is not the number one language. There's a language called Malay, which Malaysians speak. And then there's a language called Thai, which Thai people speak, right? It makes sense. But I will say this. Another thing that I was thrown off by, because I was like, y'all, I was in the dark. I didn't know anyone who ever been to Malaysia. I was like, I didn't do any planning. I was like, let me just go. I'm already here. It's only 2 hours away from Thailand. Let me check it out. They speak English a lot there, especially if you're talking about the people who are near the bigger cities. I was surprised by how much I was able to get by with the English. So don't let that stop y'all. But they do have the language differences. Now let's talk about the visa residency. Some people say the Malaysian one's harder. Some people will say the Thailand's harder. I don't want to say which is better, which is worse, etc. But I will say, from my understanding, Malaysia has a visa called the Malaysia My Second Home program, which makes it slightly easier for foreigners, allegedly, to live in the country long term. And from my understanding, they could also potentially own property, where someone left a comment in the other video talking about, hey, you guys can't own property here in Thailand, ha ha ha. You're right, we can't. If we're not from there, we're not allowed to own property. That's why when you see a lot of these YouTubers, social media influencer type people, they're in these high-rise condos. It's not necessarily because the high-rises are that much superior. That's all you can get. In Thailand, you're not allowed to own country. You're not allowed to own land if you have no blood ties to that country, right? You know what I'm saying? You need to be a citizen. Otherwise, you can just do the condos. And even if you buy the condo, I was told the max you can own it is for 99 years. So, here in America, I'm not sure how it works in Great Britain and other places, but here in America, if you buy a condo and let's say something happens to you, you can pass it down to your siblings, to your children, another family member, maybe a close friend, put it in the will, right? And you just keep it going. Nah, in Thailand, once you're gone, that's it. Your kids can't have it. Your cheating wife can't have it. Your cheating husband can't have it. Your crazy Uncle James, your mistress, no one you know is allowed to have it, right? So you got to keep that in mind when going to these places. Now, I will say, once again, that the foods have differences, going back to the culture thing, because going back to the Malaysian, Chinese, Indian, local people versus Thailand, that draws a difference within the foods. So I personally, and I don't want to disrespect anybody with this comment, I'm just being honest, but I personally enjoyed the Malaysian food better. The Thai food was just okay for me. I'm being honest, and I really hope no one takes this the wrong way, because I love Thai culture, I respect them. The Malaysian culture or the Malaysian food felt more natural to me, a little more meat heavy, different type of seasonings. Also, with all the influence there, you'll see some cuisines maybe from like Turkish and other Muslim countries more so often, because I remember Malaysia has a larger Muslim population than Thailand, so you're gonna see influence from a lot of the Malaysian countries. But overall, I just want to make this quick little video. I don't want to take too much of y'all's time. I just saw that people were asking questions when I made the first video. Is Thailand the new America? What about this? What about that? So I wanted to address a few more details and then throw Malaysia in the mix. So new video dropping soon about me in Malaysia. Should be out hopefully in the next 48 hours. And I'm going to keep this thing going, and I appreciate everybody's love, support, all that, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.